Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. And I have a gig on Wednesday. And I'm a little bit worried about it, actually. Not only is it the first one for, 2 months, ages, but it's also a gong show. So you do get guaranteed 2 minutes, but the chances of me doing 2 minutes and 1 second are quite high, I would have thought, because I'm a little bit rusty. But we'll see how that goes. I'm off to Equity shortly because we've got our branch meeting, and I have made them all biscuits. I have now nailed the recipe and they're looking fine and dandy. But, obviously the proof of the pudding is in the eating and all that. So I'll let you know what people think, assuming anybody actually tries them. People are always a bit suspicious, aren't they, of home baking, because you never know what environment somebody's prepared them in. But I can assure you, my brand new kitchen, I say brand new, it was fitted, a year ago, it's pretty much as it was when it was fitted, because I haven't done an awful lot. But, better late than never and all that. On Saturday, I was bored. In fact, I was bored the whole weekend. I had nothing on the entire weekend, or at least nothing I remembered. I completely forgot that we had a committee meeting for Equity, so I missed that, but that's very embarrassing and I have apologised. But otherwise, I believed I had nothing going on the entire weekend. So I had a look around on Eventbrite and came up with this session, which was developing a vision board. And I went along and it was quite good fun. It was interesting. I would say that, don't I? I'm not saying that my vision board is really going to propel me forward. I don't know. It's quite interesting what I created. I literally just flicked through magazines and just saw what spoke to me. Interestingly, there was an article on Edinburgh, and then I found another article about something blah, 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 festival. So I've put those together because you never know, I might actually deliver on that one and do it. At the moment, I can't see a way through financially because I don't have a job and going to Edinburgh is not cheap. But, you never know. So fingers crossed, that could change. I'm not sure when the application's deadline is, but I know it's the beginning of this year at some point. I'm guessing I've got a bit longer. Well, keep going. You never know. I might get there. It is really expensive though. I went, 2 years ago and it nearly bankrupted me. And that's what I wasn't really worried about, paying for stuff. Right now, I have to pull my belt in a little bit. Speaking of finances and pulling one's belt in, I take it you've been following all this Rachel Reeves budget stuff. There's so much I could say here, but I'm just going to say one thing. It is so obviously... The whole thing around this is so obviously sexist. Now, I'm not saying that she hasn't produced a bad budget, because she clearly has. But if you think back, everybody goes on about Liz Truss's budget, which was actually her chancellor, who was a man. Now we have Rachel Reeves' budget. Should this not be Keir Starmer's budget? Because Liz Truss was the Prime Minister. So why did the Prime Minister, who was a female, have to take the fall? And now it's the Cabinet Minister, who is a female, who has to take the fall. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say whether any of the budgets were good or bad, although this one we've just had was terrible. And if anybody thought it was going to encourage growth, they want their bumps felt. But, that's as far as I'm going to go in terms of commenting. I do think this is very, very sexist though, and I'm feeling for my gender in this scenario, because there's clearly two guys, Crazy Kwarteng and Keir Starmer, that seem to be coming off unscathed out of this, and that's just not fair. Much love and gratitude.